what is the vision for your design system? Because that's going to define how you should be thinking about adoption. So what do we mean by vision for a design system? If you want to jump to the next slide, Nick, I just put this example up here because everyone could go look at this example right now. It's, of course, publicly available. This is from Google Material, one of the most famous design systems. And Google Material's vision it's really captured in these three goals that they lay out. Number one, it's about creating a visual language that synthesizes the principles of good design. Number two, it's about unifying the user experience. And number three, it's about flexibility, providing a customizable foundation, which for Google, of course, is very important because they have many people building off of apps off of Material. So understand, what does that vision look like for your company? Why are you building this design system in the first place? I'll give you a very different example, Zendesk. Zendesk has written a lot about their design system, Garden. One of their key goals was to help everyone within Zendesk and their partners create accessible experiences that could be used by people with disabilities as well. And so when they were creating their design system, part of the vision was everything will conform to the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. And they even came up with an interesting way of structuring their components to kind of separate interactions from visual elements. And they made that public for people to use. So again, very different visions, but that's where it starts. And then based on your vision, based on those goals, you can define success metrics, which again gets at what does good adoption look like. So for example, if your company's goal in creating a design system is to get products to market faster, right, to just make design and development more efficient, you might gauge adoption by saying, well, how much work is each product team able to fit in a sprint now that we have a design system as opposed to when we had it before, right? So you might be tracking things like that. If your goal is more around creating a more consistent experience for your customers, then you might gauge adoption by looking at how often each product team is logging in and downloading components from the system. Because as that goes up, then that means that that consistency, those standards you've established, are effectively making their way into all those different products that your customers use. And just one last example, if your goal is to solve for this fatigue designers have of reinventing the wheel so that you can free up their time to solve new challenges for the business, then a good adoption for you might be hours saved, right? Are designers able to create and pass on new features to development more quickly than they could before? I even talked to a company the other day who was tracking like design team health metrics. So they wanted to know, now that we have design system, are designers feeling more excited and engaged about the work they're doing because they're no longer reinventing the wheel and solving the same problems over and over and over again? Mm-hmm. So just a few thoughts on that, but it really comes back to what is your vision and then defining the right way of thinking about adoption based on that.